already know my name. I am Victor, but I'm 21 and I'm from Minas, but nowadays I live in Goiânia. I'm here to study, to work, and I was thinking in the past few weeks that I really don't want to go back to my city in Minas. I mean, I love the state, but here I have more opportunities to work, to study, to see people, to go out and to just, have fun. Even though I'm far from my family, from my dog, and from my house, but that's my thoughts about the place that I live. And I would like Leandro to introduce himself.
Of,
Can you do it, Leandro?
of course, no problem. So I am Leandro. I am 32 years old. I work with IT infrastructure. I'm married. I have a son. He is 2.5 years old. What can I say about me? I was born and raised in Rio Grande do Sul state, but I'm living here in Santa Catarina, Florianópolis city, in the continental part. I'm here on Talk and Talk since August 2022, and I'm host since last April. I'm host of English for Beginners, and that's it. And
Okay.
there's nothing so interesting in my life.
Of course that is. So now you, Marcio, can you tell us about you?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Márcio Nunes. I live from my city, Cali de Linhares, in the state of Espírito Santo. I'm 44 years old. I'm married. I live with my wife and my son. I have a little dog. I'm working with quality control in the industry near with me. I'm studying English since 2018. I started through traditional school wizard. After I continue online in the internet, and now I practice every day my speech with us talking talk. I started last December. Now I'm studying administration too in college. Finish the next year. Another day, I watch Victor one meeting, Spanish meeting, YouTube channel. I'm starting one course Spanish. This moment, I watch 15 class. Soon, I intend to participate with us the meeting about Spanish class. I need to practice more.
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of people in the Spanish area that are really cool. I think my favorite one is Jose, because he taught me a lot of things. He was the person who were guiding me. But then you have Maria, she's a cool person as well. And also Wahle and Claudine, the other guys, they're really cool. I think you should try it someday, just to evaluate things. And now, who are you, Victor? Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. I'm Victor. I'm 31 years old, and I work as a maintenance technician, and I hope I can complete my degree in December. I'm doing my best to do it. I'm doing mechanical engineering, and I'm married. I have a stepdaughter, 2 dogs, and I live in the countryside of the state of São Paulo, in a city called Rio Claro. And that's it.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So today we're gonna talk about marriage, especially marriage is no longer necessary. I'm not sure if you all agree because, I'm the only one who's single here, but this is not a meeting to say that you shouldn't marry someone. It's just to think about it in a philosophical way, maybe, and just to share our opinions. So the first question I would like to ask Marcio, who's married. Do you believe that marriage is no longer necessary? Why?
So, in my opinion, I disagree this question. In my case, for example, I'm married during 21 years. This year, I complete 21. But I disagree this question because it is very, very necessary because my head, because the construction of the family is the base, the marriage. Uh, Nowadays, the girl and the boy, uh, um, I I forgot the name in English. Uh, not to have very importance about the marriage, but when they have your children, you see about the importance about this marriage because one children grow up inside in your family, your father, your mother, a granddaughter, grandfather, brother, sister, aunt, is very, very important for the developing these children. In my case, I said I'm married during 21 years. I have one daughter. My daughter is married today. Today, I have one granddaughter. My granddaughter have five months. This is special moment for my family because my first granddaughter. So I have my son 14 years. This phase adolescence, teenager, is he grew up near with me, where I can learn several things for he about the world, the problems of drugs, violence, and the another things. In my opinion, is very, very important about the marriage. Nowadays, another different thing about the different families, girl and girl, boy and boy, different. But I believe the traditional family, but I respect your different opinions. But I believe marriage is very, very important.
Okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. Now I would like to hear what Victor has to say. Do you have the same opinion? Do you agree?
So I agree with Marcio. I think it's very important to our society to raise good children, to create a better world. And why? Because I think it's part of the structure of society. Because I will tell an example. I have some cousins and my experience too, but it's different that the family was broken some way, and it was a sort of thing that was totally prejudicial to us. In my case, my father passed away when I was 11, and that was so hard, and it's just structure all the family. And my cousins, some of them were raised with our grandmother, and it's different to raise a child in a constant family, like not only in the common pattern, but a family that is structured. And I think it's so important to our society. That's it.
Okay, thank you. And you, Leandro, do you believe that marriage is no longer necessary?
Well, to me, I believe it's a matter of choose, because to my life, to my lifestyle, to my my milestones, my goals. I believe my merit is the base. It's the base. Actually, is the, I don't know how to say, but it's something like the structure of my life. But it's hard to say that it's not longer necessary or it's still being necessary. We have a lot of different people out there, actually. So what is good to me maybe cannot be good to you or to everyone on the around the world. So to me, it makes sense. I like my marriage. It's like a holy beetle, it's an institution. It's my family institution. Me, my wife, and my son, we have an institution right here. So to me, it's important, but of course, there's a lot of people there that don't think that way, don't think like it, and it's okay. It's okay. It's my opinion. It's my life, but each one has the right to think in a different way.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you all, even though I am single. I, I haven't experienced the marriage before, but for me, I think marriage as a, you know, just like Leandro as an institution, but, I think more about the relationship between two or more people. I don't know, between two people for me. So for me, it's more about the the compromise between them. But I know that you guys have family, have, children, so it may be different. But for me, I think more as the relationship perspective. So for me, I would say that, you have to have a marriage before you get married, because you need to know this person before you plan the life, a whole, future with this person. And because of that, I think it's necessary in the sense that it, it it's going to change your life, marriage, and for some things, and to another people, it may be different. So, Marcio, would you like to say something?
So about the subject, Victor, I remember, I believe the last Sunday or another in the program of Fantástico about the problem in Japan about the young population not having interesting about marriage. They want to improve on career and to make friends, travel, and the another things not interesting about the marriage. Another side about the girls not have who is married in the place. I think interesting this news in the Fantástico.
Yeah, that's really interesting. In the past, I was just like them, but nowadays, I'm not sure if I don't want to get married someday. It's cool to think about sharing a life with someone else and, sharing this moment and having someone to, just hold on sometimes. So the second question, it's a really fun one for me. And I would like to ask Victor, is it necessary to give your partner a ring as a symbol of your feelings and compromise? Using it makes the relationship more real? Do you
Oh,
believe it, Victor?
I think it isn't necessary, and I will talk about my marriage when we did a party to our family, and we spent only 16 reais in our rings. We bought them on Shopee, and we are using it. But I don't use it because I work with my hands, and I can't enter the factory using a ring. and I am not using since I was married, and that's it. I think it's only a symbol, but it isn't necessary to make it real, because I think to be real, it's necessary to have confidence and compromise. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But at the same time, I feel that some people consider a ring as a part of marriage, as a thing that represents, a thing that you can say you can touch. This represents our marriage. Of course, it's an object. I do have it, and sometimes it's even like easier when you have a ring and there's someone else interested in you. You just do it, like, oh, I can't. Oh, I won't, and I don't want to do it. You just do it, and it's really simple. Everything's just fine. So it don't makes, for me, it doesn't make more real, but it represents something that may be important for some people. I don't like to use it. I just don't like to carry it in my hand. But I know that it's important to another person, so I do it because of them. So now, Leandro, what do you think about this question?
Well, I believe that besides it's a traditional or cultural thing to have a ring as a symbol, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of people out there that they do have relationship with between each other. I don't know, and they don't have this symbol ring, but they have more important things like fidelity, loyalty, respect. So, of course, to me, it's almost mandatory to you if you're a normal person or a regular person. I believe it's better to say. Oh, I am engaged with someone else. I will have a ring. So I'm married. I will have a ring, a gold ring, and okay, it's a tradition, but I believe it's more important that we will have truly, I don't know, real values, mainly respect with our partner. And of course, to me, it's something more important. And if I can't buy a ring, I will, I will certainly, okay, I will certainly don't matter about this, but there are more important things than a simple ring.
Yeah, and some of them are really expensive. It's not a cheaper thing to buy. And if you buy a one that it's not it may be, I don't know how to say, it may be deteriorar through the time. And I don't know. So, and for you, Marcio, do you believe in the importance of rings?
Yeah, I believe it is necessary and very, very important because Leandro said several things, but another thing about is a dream. The young girl, for example, nowadays, several girls is a dream to put a ring, is married, is very, very important. Nowadays, exist several people together, but not married, not using a ring, but live together. In the determinate moment in your life is importance use a ring and married in the paper about the religion, because when you construct your family to have your children, you see about this important, this marriage and ring, and another thing is you can take a picture for to show your children, and different things is very, very important for marriage.
Okay, fine. It's good to hear this. And now the question number three asks us to list some questions to ask before marriage to make sure you're doing the right thing. I think you guys should start this, but I'm going to start just to make a different point of view. For me, nowadays, I think about, do you want to have children? Um, do you want to have a house together? What are our, plans for the future? And also things about religion. If a person believes in God and wants to, just keep doing some rituals, going to the church, praying. I think this is important to just make sure that you're not incapable to do the same things as the other one. But I really don't know the questions. Would you mind to say some of them, Marcio? Some questions as a married person?
About the question number 3, I think not exist the right question, but existe I forgot the name, vontade, because you live with your mother and father and the brother during 20, 25, 30 years, suddenly another life together, another person. Challenge, the marriage is a big challenge, because it start the live with another person. When you I forgot the name, namorando, is the easy moment, very nice, né? But it's different. You is married about every day, time, compromise, bills, and another things. But it's very, very important. You have a decision, was married. Not exist the right thing. Is necessary you start day by day learning about the process is married. For me, I'm married during 21 years. I'm learning nowadays.
Yeah, that's great. And for you, Leandro, do you have some questions that may help people before marriage?
Of course. The main question maybe is, do you have any long-term debt? Understand?
I'm not sure. Oh, yeah.
That's important. Do you have any long-term debt? Well, I believe there's no kind of a script or a recipe. We have the dating period, Marcio, namorando, the dating period to know each other, to discover, to realize what do you like on the person, to the behavior of this person. So of course, in a daily basis, you have to ask important things, but there's no way to determine the more important questions. Like Marcio said, we have to find someone that is aligned with our goals. And if you want to have children, it's important that your partner have the same wish. So I believe that's a way to deal with it.
Yeah, thank you, Leandro. And Victor, we're talking about question number 3, to list some questions to ask before marriage. Do you have some questions or some thoughts?
So I think it's important to know the other person very well and to fit our values, because we, regardless of the dating period, we will understand and learn about the person when we marry, and yeah, that's it. I think we can learn something in our dating process, but when we start to live together and to share the day, all the day in part, we will always learn about the other person, and I think we need to fit our values to keep the things working. I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you guys. I think you all have helped me to make some thoughts about marriage. I have actually a good question for me, that it's if the person likes to cook, because I don't like doing it. So for me, I don't mind to clean up the mess and to just make sure that everything is clean after the whole thing about cooking. But I would like to have a person that do it, not for me, but for us as a family. And I'm just kidding, but it's an important thing for me, maybe, because I really don't like doing it. But I can do another things that is going to balance the relation, and I'm not going to abuse to this person. So now let's go to the question number 4. And I would like to ask to Victor again, is having a child the solution to save a hopeless marriage?
So I think it isn't a solution, but I think, in my opinion, it's important to have a shield when we the partners are doing well and they thinking about the future, and if it is a hopeless marriage, is so dangerous to put a child in this relationship. And I think it's something like that. That's it.
I was muted. And for you, Leandro, do you think is it the solution?
I think that human life, it's not an instrument for nothing. So it's something really serious to deal with human lives, even mainly of children, to solve our modern problems or modern behavior problems. It's some, as Victor said, it's not something that could be neither considered as a solution to a hopeless marriage.
Yeah. And you, Marcio, do you agree with the guys?
Yeah, I agree. Not exist a solution about the hopeless marriage, because this situation is very, very sad. The big problem, your children when separated, your father and the mother, for the marriages a long time existe desire, love, patience, and another thing. Nowadays, it's common the finish the marriage, start another marriage and another. I know about the people married 2 or 3 or 4 times. Not have solution for the person, because this marriage permanent a long time exists. Several another thing is necessary for to keep his marriage.
Yeah, I agree as well. I don't think a child it's going to be the solution to different problems, especially because if you have a problem in your marriage, you need to solve it before you plan to have someone else to take care of, because it's a life, as Leandro said. And dealing with life, it's really hard, especially because you need to share the same thoughts. You need to, educate this person. And if there's no environment, there's no safe environment for this child, it may be end the marriage, because it's going to appear more problems and more problems, and then problems about creating the child and everything else. So now the question number 5, I would like to someone else to read it, because it's a big question. Leandro, can you read it and answer the question number 5?
Sure, no problem. Let's go. The 5th question. Is it healthy for little boys and girls to have religions or participate in religious practice that is still advocate marriage as a loving union of a man and a woman for the purpose of procreation and raising children? Well, that's a big one. Can the church influence the oppression of LGBTQIA plus community? Wow. I don't remember the beginning, but let's do it. I don't have an opinion about these religion matters. I just don't like fanatism, even in religion, even in every community, every kind of community. I like the equilibrium on things. So that's my point of view. I don't know if it's healthy or not. And in the same time, I don't know it's healthy or not, each kind of communities. But to me, I don't need a religion to be a good person. I'm based on the matter of I don't do to anyone what I wouldn't like to that any would do to me, and I believe this is enough, at least to me. But I don't have an opinion, and a strong opinion on the 5th question.
Yes, I think it's a really hard question, because if you are a dad or a mom, you want to, pass all the values that you have to your children. You want these children to just learn the things that it's important for you. And if religions, it's important for you, you may consider, putting your child in this environment so them could learn, could, just like you admire the, I don't know, the God that you believe. But at the same time, I'm not sure if it's healthy in some ways, because, children, they don't understand really well how the world works. But at the same time, I don't know, they don't get to choose if they believe or not, if they agree or not. And it's really complicated. And what do you think about it, Masio? Do you think, is it healthy? People should do it?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's very important, the healthy a little boy in the group to grow up inside the religion, participate, because there they learn about the traditional family. They can see the family every Sunday in a church. Learning about the more about the God, in the church is the best faith, because another opportunity talk about God, and another thing is about your family. In my opinion, it's very, very important. Little boy and little girl participating one religion. In my case, I'm a Catholic. In my family, I like to go to the church, because there is the great moment together, the church, and to learn more. I learned more about God. And another continues the question about the LGBTQIA+. I believe the church not involved about this opinion, because nowadays it's very, very important about the respect. Another person have your opinion, have your orientation. Respect is very, very interesting. This society, community nowadays have a space, different people nowadays talk a lot this situation. This respect is very, very important.
Yeah, thank you for your answer, Marcio. And I would like now to hear Victor's opinion about the big question.
So I think I have a point between Leandro and Marcio, because I believe that we don't need religion to be a good person. But I started to being religious. It has been almost 3-4 years, and not a sort of religious that go to the church every Sunday or something like it. The frequency that the religious community requires. But for me, it was important to my development as in my dating, in my my marriage. But I think I don't have an opinion if little boys or little girls, if it is helped to them, because I know some of my friends that passed through hard I think hard mind problems because of excess of religious, and I think it's a very complicated question. But in my opinion, if I was raised in a system like that, I think it can be good for me. I think I will do less mistakes that I did. That's it. And about the second part, I think nowadays the church is less powerful, but I think it can influence the oppression of this community. And for another community that the church wants to influence the oppression or something good, they can do it, and that's it.
Yeah, thank you. So I think I have a different opinion for all of you. I think it is healthy in some ways, because into the church we learn to be respectful. We learn basic things that is really important to life, to have a good quality, and to, live in society. It's fundamental. But at the same time, I think we should wait until the child decide if they believe it. Because for me, I was 8 or 7 when I had my primera Eucharistia. I don't know how to say this, but I didn't understood why I was doing that. And it's a serious thing. It's a ritual. and you're doing a compromise with Christ. So you should at least understand why you're doing it. And then the second one, it's called Chrisma. I did it, but I didn't understand why I was doing. I was doing just because of my parents. It wasn't for me. So I think in these situations, they were forcing me because I didn't want to be there. And I had this conversation about, oh, I don't want to go to the church anymore. I did like some immersions. It's not the common one, but another ones that it's like TNT in certain ways. Some conversations about life and about another things that may affect our lives. But at the same time, I feel like hearing to the people who are there, like talking about God and God's life and the Bible, it wasn't healthy for me because I didn't agree, even because I don't like women, I like guys, I'm gay. So for me, it's really hard to go there and listening to them talking about the relationship, the marriage between woman and man, and having a child. So this was really hard for me. And I had some moments where I remember that they said things about LGBTQIA plus community. Like there's a guy, he was by my side, and he asks, like, why should a gay guy do if he believes in God, is Catholic, but he wants to have a relationship with another guy? Should this guy go to the church with them, with his partner? And the other one said, no. And if you are Catholic, you should just ignore this part of your life and just dedicate to God. Then you'll be satisfied. You don't need another person to live. And that was really hard for me. I know that some church, certain communities, they're more open, but even though I feel that there's a lot of things that they need to improve in order to don't cause this oppression. So that's my point of view. I know, there are different ones, but that's okay. Now we have 10 minutes. So I would like to, we have 3 questions and 10 minutes. And I'm asking Marcio to choose a question and answer it. You can choose the question number 6, 7, or 8.
Okay. Nice. Question number 8. What advice do you give so that as the years go by, married life continues to be happy without giving into monotony? So I have experience about it because I'm married a long time. My advice about this question is necessary. You and your wife to do different things in moments different in your life. For example, in my case, I like to travel with my wife. When I can travel for another place, for example, another stage or the place more expensive, for example, about use the flight and other things, I can. But when I can't expensive travel, I travel here near with me another city, 30 kilometers, 5 kilometers. For me, it's very, very interesting to travel with my wife. And another different thing, I like the reunion, my family, about barbecue and my family and the mother house and the mother-in-law. And I, in my life, participated de really my city exists the name in English I forgot, barzinhos at night, this special moment where we can conversation a lot and have one moment together. In my opinion about the advice, you think about different things you do during your marriage. Several people like watch movies, cinema, and another things. Is very, very interesting. You think the go out routine.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Marcio. And now, Leandro, you can choose the question number 6 or 7, or you can even just keep in the question number 8.
I like the 8th question, and I like the answer of Marcio. It's really important to have quality time with our partner, and it's hard actually because our daily routines are really busy. Or actually, we are full of activities, full of distractions. We have a lot of different, I don't know. Everything around us is trying to catch our attention, and we have the smartphone, we have the social media, and we have a lot of activities that we acknowledge to do, but sometimes we are not able to dedicate the right amount of time. So I believe it's impressive. It's not impressive. It's important to take care of our relationship, spend some really good time with our partners, because we don't have a partner only to solve problems or to talk about negative things. We have to enjoy the life together. So I agree with Marcio. It's a very good resource to travel along with our partners. It's a good option. I like it.
Yeah, thank you, Leandro. And now, Victor, you can choose question number 6, 7, or 8.
So I took my notes here from Marcio and Leandro. I will follow your advice, and I will choose the question number 6. What are the emotional consequences of lying in a marriage? And I think it's the worst possible because it's necessary to keep the trust and to improve it. I think it's a pattern for all of relationships, regardless of if it's a friendship or a love relationship. And that's so important to keep the things trustable, because we can ruin the word of a person only lying about something that is so I don't have the words to describe, but it's something that is simple to us, but it can break the word of another person. And that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Victor. And now, guys, we are running out of time, and I would like to, share my final words to this conversation. I would like to talk about question number 7, because here I'm sure that you all have mother-in-law problems, issues, soccer issues. No? Okay. That's really good, because a lot of people complain about it, but
My mother-in-law is an
talk.
angel.
Yeah, you're really lucky. Now we don't have time to talk about anymore, and I just would like to say thank you to all of you, to Marcio, Leandro, and Victor, because that was my first meeting in English as a host, and it was a great pleasure to share this moment with you all. And I love the topic. I love that each one of you have a relationship to share, And I'm really glad that you guys share your personal, life to me and to all people that are watching us. That was really, cool. And that's how. Do you want to say something, Marcia?
Yeah, I enjoy a lot this meeting with you. This is my first meeting with you. This topic is interesting about this married is very, very important nowadays. Talk about it. But after this meeting, I need a date with my wife in commemoration.
Congratulations. So now I've just sent the feedback link. It's really important for you all to answer this and say what you guys thought, your first impressions of the meeting. It's gonna help the way that I, got here, and also to have more ideas to talk about. Next week, it's going to be really, really cool. It's a polemic topic, my favorite one, I guess. And I invite you all to return and talk about it, right? So good night, everyone, and
Have a
thank you
good
all for
one.
coming.